This sound-activated switch detected the distinctive pattern of two quick claps and responded by toggling the power to whatever was plugged into it.
Nigga, if I'm in the room with my wife and I'm giving her some serious back shots, that shit gonna be going on and off, on and off, and on and off.
Customers received an ordinary beach pebble nestled in.
You buy a pet rock, you're smoking crack rock.
Some motion, but they both don't make no honey, no emotion. I've been on my own since I was a youngin'. Yo, she sippin' potion, now I'm pulled, it's built up on my shirt. I'm from the dirty, how you want the trophy when you don't put in work?
What's up, fam? It's your boy Rain, Ninja Reacts. We decided to do a little late night special, get a little smoky smoke on smoke. Today, we got zooted, or tonight rather, and we decided to watch something a little different with some weird contraptions that got banned. Why did they get banned? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out, and why not find out together? So let's get right into it, guys.
Number 22, the flying bedstead, 1953 to 1957. Ever looked at a bed frame and thought, with the right engines that could fly?
Flying bedstead was tested recently at the Rolls-Royce flight establishment in Nottinghamshire.
In 1953, Rolls-Royce engineers apparently did, creating the flying bedstead, officially known as the thrust measuring rig. This bizarre contraption resembled nothing so much as a metal bed frame balanced atop two massive jet engines pointing straight down. What could possibly go wrong? As the world's first jet-lift aircraft, this pioneering vertical takeoff and landing VTOL vehicle laid crucial groundwork for future aircraft like the Harrier jump jet. Testing began in 1954 at Hucknall Airfield in England, with the first free flight occurring in 1957. The entire control system was manual. Pilots used small rockets at the rig's corners to stabilize and maneuver the unwieldy craft. Despite its ungainly appearance and perilous operation, the flying bedstead successfully proved that jet engines could lift and sustain an aircraft without wings. Would you have volunteered to test pilot this skeletal flying machine, essentially balancing atop two roaring jet engines with nothing but
pause? So far, I haven't understood a single reason why anyone would invent any of these inventions. They're so impractical, costly. I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. This looks like something that would be on Mars, bro. It's just it's like trash. But if someone had this and wanted to sell it, you can get so much from this. It's a relic.
But your reflexes keeping you from disaster? Number 21, mono wheels, 1950s to 1960s. Who needs two wheels when you can have just one? Mono wheels, single-wheeled vehicles where the rider sits inside or atop a massive wheel, captured the imagination of mid-century inventors and daredevils alike. These futuristic-looking contraptions promised the ultimate in minimalist transportation, but delivered something closer to performance art with a high injury rate. The core problem? Physics. When riders hit the brakes, the natural momentum sent them into what enthusiasts called gurgling, continuing to rotate forward.
Pause. Bro, what is this, man? You're exposed to the elements. This is not even like a motorcycle, man. Definitely no stereo, no AC, visibility. You can only imagine how that is. I mean, if you get into an accident and die riding one of these, you deserve it. You fucking deserve it. Don't reinvent the wheel, guys.
Inside the wheel, steering presented another challenge as the gyroscopic effect of the large wheel made precise navigation nearly impossible. Despite these flaws, mono wheels enjoyed periodic bursts of popularity through the 1950s and 60s. Their inherent instability and impracticality ultimately confined them to circuses, parades, and novelty exhibitions rather than mainstream transportation. Would you dare to take a spin in one of these precariously balanced people movers? Number 20, gyro boats, 1960s.
Gyroboat, the brand new idea of a young American ex-aircraft designer.
Ever looked at a helicopter and thought, I'd like to strap that to my fishing boat? In the 1960s, someone did exactly that, creating the gyro boat, a terrifying hybrid of boat, kite, and helicopter rotor. These flying boats featured a small hull with an attached rotor that generated lift when pulled by a speedboat, allowing users to literally fly over the water. What could possibly go wrong? The assembly instructions were alarmingly casual. Just get all those bolts on the rotor finger tight, before being pulled at 20 miles per hour behind a powerboat. Safety features were essentially non-existent. No emergency release, no automatic rotor stop, and certainly no protection from the spinning blades if you crashed. Surprisingly, these aerial guillotines never achieved mainstream popularity, though they maintained a small but dedicated following of thrill seekers. The gyro boat stands as a monument to an era when consumer safety regulations were, shall we say, still evolving. Number 19. Briefcase alarm, 1970s. Before Find My iPhone, there was the executive briefcase alarm, the most dramatic anti-theft device of the 1970s. Activated by remote control when your briefcase was stolen, this security system unleashed billowing red smoke and an ear-splitting alarm that rivaled a rock concert in volume. Talk about making a scene. Developed during a period of rising urban crime rates, these briefcase security systems offered businessmen peace of mind when carrying important documents. The theory was simple. The smoke would draw attention to the thief while potentially marking them with red dye for easier identification. The reality? Most thieves simply abandoned the screaming, smoking briefcase and fled, leaving the owner to explain the situation to concerned police officers. While impractical by modern standards, these dramatic security devices represent the ingenuity of pre-digital anti-theft technology. Did your father or grandfather ever protect his business papers with this attention-grabbing alarm system? Number 18. Smell-O-Vision, 1960.
Smell-O-Vision coming up.
Ever wished you could smell what's happening on screen? In 1960, Swiss inventor Hans Laube introduced Smell-O-Vision, a system that released synchronized odors to individual theater seats during film screenings. This ambitious 4D technology made its debut and swan song in the film Scent of Mystery, where plot points hinged on various aromas that audiences could actually smell. The technology used a complex network of pipes connected to vials of 30 different scents, triggered by the film's soundtrack. Advertisements boldly proclaimed, "First they moved, then they talked, now they smell." Despite considerable publicity, technical issues plagued the release. Some scents lingered too long, others arrived too late, and ventilation problems left theaters with a muddled olfactory mess. While Smell-O-Vision quickly faded, the concept periodically resurfaces, most notably in Disney's scratch and sniff cards distributed for specific films. Would you attend a Smell-O-Vision revival, or are some cinematic experiences better left to sight and sound alone? Number 17. Chia Pets, 1977.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet.
Chia. Has any advertising jingle embedded itself more effectively in the American consciousness? Introduced in 1977 by Joseph Enterprises, Chia Pets offered the perfect solution
Chia,
for those
I got it
seeking pet
ninja
ownership
style.
without
Right.
walks, vet bills, or litter boxes. These terracotta figurines, originally just a ram, but expanding to include turtles, puppies, and eventually pop culture icons, transformed from bald pottery to lush fur in just days. The concept was brilliantly simple. Spread moistened chia seeds over grooved terracotta, keep damp, and watch green sprouts emerge. Costing about $15, Chia Pets became a Christmas staple, selling over 500,000 units annually during their peak popularity. Their cultural significance was confirmed when the New York Times included them in a time capsule to be opened in the year 3000. Today, the original manufacturer continues to produce new designs annually. Did your family ever gather around to watch your ceramic puppy grow its grass coat? Number 16. Baby cages, 1950.
False.
About the Chia Pet thing, guys, never got the appeal of him, but hey, he went off, I guess. Look at the color of my skin. Y'all, Chia Pet, bro? Nigga, I'm smoking that Chia pack. I don't know about Chia Pets, though. But hey.
Would you suspend your infant in a wire cage outside a third-story window? In the 1950s, urban parents did exactly that. Baby cages, wire enclosures attached to apartment windows, allowed city dwellers to give their infants fresh air and sunshine without leaving their apartments. Suspended above busy streets, these cages were essentially suspended porches for babies, emerging from early 20th century health concerns about weak constitution in city children. Baby cages promised improved appetite, better digestion, and robust health through fresh air exposure. Marketed as a practical solution for apartment-dwelling parents without access to yards or parks, the cages featured wire mesh construction and occasionally a
False.
I haven't seen a single black person in any of these ad reels yet. Who's supplying the research to these people marketing these products? Better digestion? What is hanging your baby off of a balcony, off the edge of a window, possibly hundreds of feet above pavement, would aid in better digestion? lady, this is another one of those inventions where if you use it and there's a death that results in it, you deserve it.
Small roof for sun protection. Safety features were minimal by modern standards, typically just the cage's attachment to the window frame. While horrifying to contemporary parents, these dangling nurseries represent the evolving nature of child-rearing practices and urban challenges. When did sensible parenting win out over hanging babies out windows? Number 15. The button ear, 1970s.
Problem with buttons is they always fall off. This Christmas, get them the new automatic button ear too.
How many times have you lost a button at the worst possible moment? In the 1970s, Ronco offered salvation for the sewing challenged with the button ear, an ingenious handheld device that reattached buttons without needle and thread. This plastic gadget used small, clear fasteners that pushed through the fabric and button, then locked in place with a simple squeeze. Advertised with the promise, attaches buttons in just 5 seconds. The button ear was particularly popular among seniors with arthritis, college students with limited domestic skills, and anyone who dreaded rummaging through sewing kits. The device loaded like a stapler with plastic fasteners that resembled tiny dumbbells. While purists scoffed at the temporary nature of the fix compared to proper sewing, the button ear saved countless dress shirts, blouses, and jackets from wardrobe retirement. Do you still have one tucked away in a drawer somewhere? They're surprisingly durable little gadgets that still work decades later. Number 14. The clapper, 1976.
Honey, turn off the light.
Has this ever happened to you? Presenting the clapper.
Clap on, clap clap, clap off, clap clap. Has any other invention enjoyed such a catchy jingle? The clapper, introduced in 1976 by Joseph Pedot, promised to revolutionize laziness by allowing Americans to control electrical appliances without getting off the couch. This sound-activated switch detected the distinctive pattern of 2 quick claps and responded by toggling the power to whatever was plugged into it. The clapper plugged into standard
Pause. Nigga, if I'm in the room with my wife and I'm giving her some serious back shots, that shit gonna be going on and off. My wife, bro, my girlfriend. And this bitch gonna be going on and off and on and off. That's where I don't see this product being in my life. And on top of that, it's just stupid.
With appliances then connected to the clapper itself. Its built-in microphone could distinguish between ambient noise and deliberate clapping most of the time. Parents nationwide discovered they could convince children ghosts were real by clapping while the kids weren't looking. Despite its gimmicky nature, the clapper addressed legitimate needs for the elderly and disabled, providing easier access to lighting and appliances. Modern smart homes with voice control owe a conceptual debt to this quirky invention that made convenience just 2 claps away. Number 13. Inflatable furniture, 1970s.
Looks good in any setting. Of course, one has to take care with pin.
Remember when sitting on your furniture meant you might bounce right off? The 1970s brought us inflatable furniture. Those air-filled plastic chairs and sofas that promised to revolutionize home decorating. Available in eye-catching colors like neon pink, electric blue, and translucent purple, these pneumatic pieces epitomize the decade's fascination with unconventional materials and playful design. Perfect for small apartments, dorm rooms, and spontaneous beach parties, inflatable furniture could be deflated for easy storage and transportation. Assuming you could fold all that plastic neatly, their popularity extended beyond practicality. These buoyant seats became cultural symbols of youthful rebellion against traditional home furnishings. The downsides? Punctures, uncomfortable stickiness on hot days, and the distinctive squeak produced whenever someone sat down. Today, inflatable furniture enjoys periodic revivals, proving that Americans never tire of sitting on air. Did your college dorm room feature one of these bouncy beauties? Number 10. Hovercraft 1955.
The hovercraft needs no introduction.
Is it a boat? Is it a plane? No, it's somewhere bizarrely in between.
It's a piece of shit.
The hovercraft, invented by British engineer Christopher Cockerell in 1955, seemed like science fiction made real. Who needs wheels or a hull when you can float on a cushion of air? Cockerell's early experiments involved vacuum cleaners and tin cans before creating a working model that could glide effortlessly over land and water. Initially dismissed as a crazy contraption, the hovercraft faced significant skepticism from investors who couldn't imagine its practical applications. Despite the doubt, these
Initially dismissed? It should have been dismissed. Case closed. You mean to tell me someone approved this? I mean, look at it. It's in the ocean. This hovercraft. What is up with this whole fascination with water. Is land not good enough for y'all niggas? I don't know. Speaking of niggas, I haven't seen a black person's period. I haven't seen a black person, period. Talking about I haven't seen another black person. I haven't seen any black people. I haven't even seen Spanish people. I haven't seen Chinese people. This is the most American shit you can think of. But I like it at the same time because it's like, I don't know, it's like a relic or an artifact.
Air cushion vehicles eventually found their niche, particularly in military operations and as ferry services across the English Channel beginning in 1968. While they never revolutionized personal transportation as some predicted, hovercrafts represent that quintessential mid-century belief that conventional limitations were meant to be overcome. Have you ever ridden one? The experience is unlike any other mode of transportation. Number 9. Nuclear-powered cars, 1957.
The Ford Nucleon.
Ever dreamed of driving 5,000 miles without stopping for gas? In 1957, Ford unveiled the Nucleon, a concept car designed to run on a small nuclear reactor in the trunk. Wait, what? That's right. In the atomic age, when nuclear power promised unlimited clean energy, engineers seriously proposed putting miniature reactors in family sedans. The Nucleon's sleek design resembled a spacecraft more than an automobile, embodying America's space-age optimism. Ford claimed this atomic automobile would need refueling just once every 5,000 miles. Thankfully, safety concerns and practical challenges prevented these radioactive roadsters from ever reaching production. The concept remains a fascinating glimpse into an alternate future where nuclear power wasn't just for submarines and power plants, but for your daily commute. Did your parents ever imagine their family station wagon might someday be powered by uranium? Number 8. Smokeless ashtray, 1970s.
It filters out irritating smoke, allowing my family to breathe cleaner, fresher smelling air.
Remember when smoking indoors was so common that we invented gadgets to deal with it rather than just taking it outside? The Ronco smokeless ashtray, another brainchild of infomercial king Ron Popeil, promised to solve the problem of secondhand smoke without ever questioning why we were smoking indoors in the first place. How's that for 1970s logic? This battery-powered device used a small fan to pull cigarette smoke through a replaceable filter, trapping the particles before they could spread throughout the room. The distinctive whirring sound earned it the nickname cigarette grinder among users. Priced around $10, about $40 today, smokeless ashtrays became common gifts for households with smokers, typically purchased by concerned spouses or children. While moderately effective at reducing visible smoke, they did little for the pervasive tobacco smell. Today, these relics seem bizarre in our smoke-free indoor environments, reminding us how much cultural attitudes towards smoking have shifted. Number 7. The Flowbee, 1988.
Introducing the Flowbee Precision Haircutting System. Get that freshly sucked hair you've always dreamed of.
It sucks, as it cuts. In the late 1980s, carpenter Rick Huntz revolutionized home haircuts with the Flowbee, a bizarre hybrid of vacuum cleaner and hair trimmer. This contraption attached to your household vacuum and used suction to pull hair straight before cutting it to a precise length. Did it work? Surprisingly, yes, at least for certain hairstyles. The Flowbee conquered 2 challenges of home haircuts, creating even lengths and cleaning up the mess.
Pause. The Flowbee can suck my dick. How about that? If the suction is that good, this thing looks terrible. It's a vacuum cleaner. It's an overpriced, over-glorified vacuum cleaner. You people are so gullible. Ladies, gents, if you straighten your hair, just use an iron. Just use a flat iron.
Various plastic spacers allowed different cutting length, while the vacuum instantly captured clippings. At $89.95, about $210 today, the Flowbee appealed to budget-conscious families tired of expensive salon visits. The commercials became late-night TV staples, though the product's unusual appearance made it an easy target for comedians. Despite the jokes, over 2 million units sold by the mid-1990s, and the product enjoys continued sales today. Did your family keep a Flowbee in the closet? And more importantly, could your friends tell when you'd had a Flowbee haircut? Number 6. Sea monkeys, 1957.
There's something in here. Watch this.
Who else felt betrayed when they discovered sea monkeys weren't actually tiny underwater people with crowns? These mail-order pets became a cultural phenomenon after their 1957 introduction by Harold von Braunhut. Advertised in comic books with illustrations showing humanoid creatures swimming in fantastic underwater kingdoms, the reality was somewhat less magical. Brine shrimp barely visible to the naked eye. Sea monkeys exploited a unique property of certain brine shrimp eggs, which can remain in suspended animation for years before hatching when placed in water. The marketing genius lay in the three-step process. First add water conditioner, then add eggs, and watch them magically appear days later. Priced at just $1.25, about $12 today, they became one of America's most successful mail-order novelties, selling millions of kits annually. Despite inevitable disappointment upon seeing the actual creatures, sea monkeys remain available today, teaching generations of children important lessons about advertising versus reality. Did your childhood feature a tank of these microscopic pets?
Was also popular in the 70s, not as a prison, but as a pet. That's right, the pet rock.
Number 5. Pet rock, 1975. What's smoother than a chia pet, quieter than a parakeet, and requires less maintenance than a goldfish? In 1975, advertising executive Gary Dahl answered with the pet rock, possibly the greatest masterpiece of marketing minimalism in consumer history.
First pet rocks to the stores October 1st, and by Christmas we'll have sold well over 1 million units. That kind of stuff just does.
For just $3.95, about $21 today, customers received an ordinary beach pebble nestled in a
pause. If you buy a pet rock, you're smoking crack rock.
Cardboard carrying case with air holes and straw bedding. The stroke of genius wasn't the rock itself, but the accompanying 32-page training manual filled with puns and jokes about caring for your geological companion. Sample instructions included training your pet rock to stay and play dead.
This is one of the less delightful parts of rock ownership, and is not for the faint-hearted. You may wish to turn away as your rock devours its meal.
Commands it executed flawlessly. Launched just before the 1975 Christmas season, pet rocks became an overnight sensation, selling over 1.5 million units in 6 months. Dahl earned over $15 million in today's dollars before the fad inevitably faded. The pet rock remains the ultimate testament to America's willingness to pay for cleverly packaged nothing. Did you or your parents ever own this maintenance-free pet?
I don't know, guys. That video has no comments, but I don't need to read the comments. I'll give you guys my commentary. Those inventions were so dog shit, they would make Mater from Cars look good. These contraptions would make Dr. Doofenshmirtz blush. They're so zany and outlandish. A pet rock? Anyways, guys, I hope you had a blast like I did, watching these inventions, eating surplus pancakes. I don't know. Hopefully you're eating pancakes with syrup. But yeah, you know what the assignment is. I don't gotta tell you what it is because you already know what it is. You know, we're gonna give you guys some more action coming your way. Until then, it's your boy Rain, Ninja Reacts. Peace.